Good morning. Today we'll continue with chapter 13. Now the next topic is population growth. Now the size of a population of any species is not a static parameter. It keeps changing with time depending on various factors including food availability, predator pressure and adverse weather. It is these changes in the population density that gives us some idea of what is happening to the population, whether it is flourishing or declining. Now, whatever might be the ultimate reasons, the density of a population in a given habitat during a given period fluctuates due to changes in four basic processes, two of which is natality and immigration, which contribute to increase in population. Natality and immigration leads to increase in population density, and two, mortality and emigration, they results in decrease in the population. So natality, what is natality? It refers to the number of births during a given period in population that are added to the initial density. What is mortality? Mortality is the number of deaths in a population during a given period. Immigration, what is immigration? Immigration is the number of individuals of the same species that have come into the habitat from elsewhere during the time period under consideration. And what is emigration? Emigration is the number of individuals of the population who left the habitat and gone elsewhere during the time period under consideration. So if n is the total population density at a particular time, then the density at the time t plus 1 is given by this equation. N t plus 1 is equal to nt plus b plus 1. B stands for birth rate, I stands for immigration, D stands for death rate and E stands for immigration. So this is the equation for the population density. Now from this equation we can see that the population density will increase if the number of births plus the number of immigrations, that is B plus I, is more than the number of deaths plus the number of emigrants, that is death and emigration. Death and emigration. So that results in decrease. Now under normal condition, birth rate and death rate. Birth rate and death rate, that is natality and mortality, the most important factor that which influence the population density. The other two factors importance only in the special conditions. If a new habitat is just being colonized, so immigration may contribute more significantly in population growth than the birth rates. Growth models. Now, growth of a population with time show many specific and predictable patterns. So we have been concerned about unbridled human population growth and problems created by it in our country, and it is therefore natural for us to be curious if different animal populations in nature behave the same way or show some restraints on growth. We can learn a lesson or two from the nature on how to control population growth. So exponential growth. First talk about exponential growth. Now resources, that is food and space availability, is essential for the growth of the population. When resources in the habitat are unlimited, okay, they are unlimited, available in plenty. So each species has the ability to realize fully its innate potential to grow in number. As Darwin observed while developing his theory of natural selection, the population growth in an exponential or geometric fashion. So if in a population of size n, the birth rates, not total number, but per capita births, they are represented by B, and death rates, again per capita death rates, are represented by D, then the increase or decrease in number during a unit period time, that is dn upon dt, that will be represented by B minus D multiplied by n. So let B minus D is equal to R, that is birth rate and death rate is equal to R, then dn upon dt will also be equal to R and n. Here R in this equation is called as the intrinsic rate of natural increase. Intrinsic rate of natural increase, and is a very important parameter which is chosen for assessing impacts of any biotic or abiotic factor on population growth. So to give you some idea about the magnitude of R values, which is intrinsic rate of natural increase, Norway rat, where the R is 0.015 and for the floor beetle it is 0.12. So in 1981 the R value for human population in India is 0.0205. So the above equation describes the exponential or the extrinsic geometric growth pattern of a population. So here we can see in this figure 3.5 or 3.6 here, the population growth curve, and it results in a J-shaped curve. So that this is the exponential growth curve, which is shown by the J-shaped curve here. When we plot the N, that is population density in terms of time, so we get a J-shaped curve for the exponential growth. So if we the similar basic calculus, we can derive the integral form of the exponential growth equation as this, where N, that is density at a particular period of time, is equal to N0 e to the power RT, where NT refers to population density after time t, N0 refers to population density at time 0, R stands for intrinsic rate of natural increase, and E is the base of the natural logarithm, 2.71828. Now any species growing exponentially under unlimited resource conditions can reach enormous population densities in a short time. Now Darwin showed, so let's first complete something related to this exponential growth. Now Darwin showed how even a slow growing animal like elephant could reach enormous number in the absence of checks. So there is one anecdote popularity narrated to demonstrate dramatically how fast a huge population could build up when growing exponentially. The king and the minister sat for a chess game. The king, confident of winning the game, was ready to accept any bet proposed by the minister. The minister humbly said that if he won, he wanted only some wheat grains, and the quantity of which is to be calculated by placing on the chess board 1 grain in square 1, and 2 in square 2, and 4 in square 3, and 8 in square 4, and so on, doubling each time the previous quantity of wheat on the next square until all the 64 squares were filled. So the king accepted the seemingly silly bet and started the game. But unluckily for him, the minister won. So the king felt that fulfilling the minister's bet was so easy. He started with a single grain on the first square and proceeded to fill the other squares following minister's suggested procedure. But by the time he covered half the chessboard, the king realized to his dismay that all the wheat produced in his entire kingdom pooled together would still be inadequate to cover all the 64 squares. So now think of a tiny paramecium. Starting with just one individual, and through binary fission doubling in numbers every day, and imagine what a mind-boggling population size it would reach in 64 days, provided food and space remain unlimited. So that is how exponential growth works. Let's talk about logistic growth. Now, no population of any species in nature has its disposal unlimited resources to permit exponential growth. So this leads to competition between individuals for limited resources. So here, when the resources, they are limited, so the fittest individuals will survive and reproduce, and the governments of many countries, they have also realized this fact and introduced various restraints with a view to limit human population growth. Now in nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support the maximum possible number, beyond which no further growth is possible. So let us call this limit as nature's carrying capacity. Here in this equation, we'll denote it by K, carrying capacity for that species in that habitat. So a population growing in a habitat with limited resources so show initially a lag phase, Here you can see it will show initially a lag phase, followed by a phase of acceleration, and finally an asymptote where the population density reaches the carrying capacity, which stands for K here. So a plot of n in relation to time results in the sigmoid curve. So this has shaped sigmoid curve, and this type of population growth is called as Weierselt-Pearl logistic growth, and it is described by this equation where dn upon dt, that is equal to Rn, that is k minus n upon k, where n is the population density at time t, R stands for intrinsic rate of natural increase, and k stands for the carrying capacity. So since resources for growth for most animal populations are finite and become limiting sooner or later, so the logistic growth model is considered as the more realistic one instead of exponential. So here these are the two growth models which we have discussed in this presentation. One is exponential and another is logistic growth. Thank you for today.